The creator of this website, dedicated to holding local cops accountable, has become the target of a privacy attack, and the person accused is wearing a badge.
Changing his tune. What this Southwest Florida principal is now saying to students about taking a knee during the national anthem.
This video of parents throwing their kid off a bridge has them going to jail. Why they say they did it. Fox 4 News at 10 starts right now.
Live from Southwest Florida's news source, this is Fox 4 News at 11.
Tonight, a Southwest Florida Sheriff's deputy getting reprimanded for using a database to dig up personal information on a private citizen who wasn't even committing a crime. I'm Patrick Nolan.
And I'm Amy Wegman. For In Your Corner investigator Mike Mason finding out the citizen's personal info was then posted online. He says it's in retaliation and says the sheriff's office is doing very little to hold this deputy accountable. Mike?
Yeah, Amy, some say this deputy only received a slap on the wrist, which sends the wrong message to anyone who may consider compromising someone else's personal information. When Andrew Sheets launched a website focused on exposing cops' questionable behavior, he never thought he'd become the target of that bad behavior himself.
We are looking at malicious intent on this and or conspiracy to commit.
Sheets doesn't want his face shown on TV for fear of retaliation. He says his website, Charlotte County Cop Watch, features media reports about officers accused of violating policies.
The goal is to show people that the corruption is happening everywhere, and just like they hold you accountable, you have the right to hold them accountable also.
Sheets says his site also gets about 2.5 million views per month. He says that rubs some officers the wrong way.
They hate my guts because this blew up so big.
Sheets says Charlotte County Deputy Robert Tuck crossed the line by improperly accessing a department database meant to solve crimes. Instead, the officer dug up all of Sheets' personal information. A few weeks later, that info was posted in a popular law enforcement chat room where it remains today.
Online, my name, my phone number, I believe my email, my address, everything. Couldn't believe it.
A local attorney familiar with the case says Deputy Tuck clearly violated department policy.
When this officer used this system, it was to satisfy a personal grudge. And that's exactly why we have the rules that we do regarding the use of these extremely powerful systems.
There's no evidence Deputy Tuck posted Sheets' information in the chat room, but records show the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office investigated and found he did use the department's database to access Sheets' info without permission. As a result, the deputy was issued this letter of reprimand, essentially warning him to not do it again. Sheets says that's nothing more than a slap on the wrist.
Letter of reprimand is a joke. A lot more can happen. He can be fined, he can be suspended.
And we contacted the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office about all of this, but haven't heard back yet. When we do, we will, of course, let you know. In the newsroom, Mike Mason, Fox 4, in your corner.
All right, thank you, Mike. And we do want to hear from you. Do you think that a letter of reprimand is suitable punishment in this case? Or do you think something else is needed? Call or text us with your thoughts. It's 206-FOX-4.
Daredevils braving the high tides as Tropical Storm Julia moves along the Atlantic coast. You can see some of the surfers making the most of this windy weather and the waves along the coast of Georgia. 4 in Your Corner is tracking Julia's movement as the storm keeps on losing and then regaining steam. The Storm Shield's Tony Sadiq is standing by live with a look.
Hey, absolutely. Good evening, guys. It's funny in that video, you definitely saw the waves, you saw the high tide. What you didn't see was much rain out there as Julia is really losing convection. We're going to talk about that. But September is certainly one of the more active tropical months that we look at, and no doubt it's been busy out there. Lots of systems to watch. We're going to detail all that in my full forecast, but we'll start off with Julia, of course, continuing to spin out there just to the east of the Carolinas. Yeah, they're seeing some rain, but not too bad of a day out there from the Carolinas down to the south, as much of the rain's been on the east side. And you can see the showers not looking all that impressive as well. The latest from the National Hurricane Center is still from 5 o'clock. We're going to get the latest update here. I think as we get to 10:30, they officially release it at 11. And you can see it's still 40-mile-per-hour system, barely a tropical storm. The expectation is it continue to basically meander where it is and produce heavy rains and also some gusty winds. But what remains to be seen is what we'll see with Tropical Depression 12. I'll be detailing that part of the forecast, as well as your full weekend forecast coming up.
Thank you, Tony. A fresh round of local attention being paid to what athletes are doing during the national anthem tonight.
It all started weeks ago when NFL player Colin Kaepernick sparked a national debate by sitting during the national anthem as a way to protest the injustice African Americans often face in our society. And some other NFL players have followed his lead.
Well, just this week, we've reported on high school football players in other states doing the same thing for the same cause.
And that brings us to tonight's story in Collier County. The school district now laying out guidelines for what students should do if they don't want to take part.
But as 4 in Your Corner's Adam Pinsker explains, the district's clarification on this matter may have all started with a misunderstanding. Adam?
Patrick, Amy, school officials say a handful of students were being disruptive at a volleyball game last week, not protesting the national anthem. But when the principal took to morning announcements to sound off about it, it created a lot of confusion.
We're not trying to restrict anybody's First Amendment rights.
The Collier County School District says Laley principal Ryan Emeth went a little overboard last Friday during morning announcements. Take a listen to what he said about the national anthem.
You will show absolutely no disrespect. You will stand and you will stay quiet.
The message coming one day after some students were being disruptive during a volleyball match, but the district says it's a bit much.
Obviously, in that statement, his language went a little far and his tone went a little far in telling kids that they were, they are obligated to stand.
Now, Laley students say the principal changed his tune, telling the school today you don't have to stand for the national anthem, but you do have to be respectful.
He was talking about that he doesn't care if you don't stand up anymore. He's trying to give you like a chance to do what you believe in.
Something these football players appreciate since they believe in what San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick stands for by kneeling.
It's just showing that black people have been fighting injustice for a long time, and a famous person finally is letting people know that.
I asked these athletes what their reaction would be if someone kneeled at their games.
We'll support them.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter. We'll support anybody.
Collier School spokesperson Greg Trichetta says so far no students have protested during the national anthem. As for the Pledge of Allegiance, Florida law says parents must give written permission to the district to opt their kids out of saying the pledge during the school day. Reporting from Collier County tonight, Adam Pinsker, Fox 4 in your corner.
Okay, thank you, Adam. This is a weird one. Detectives in Fort Myers tonight now saying a robbery at a McDonald's was actually staged. Look at the surveillance video. Investigators have arrested a second teenager who was the clerk at this McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue in Fort Myers when all this went down. They're now saying the guy at the cash register is a co-conspirator. Detectives say he actually staged this robbery with the person snatching the money through the window and was more than willing to hand over the money thinking he would get a cut. We're not identifying the names of either one of the teenage suspects because of their ages.
Well, after weeks of speculation, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have just made public their updated medical records. So, how healthy are they?
Depends on who you ask. 4 in Your Corner's Mike Sachs is sharing their health records with you.
It took Hillary Clinton's going wobbly at the 9/11 memorial ceremony to make it happen, but now we have more information on the health of the two oldest presidential candidates to run against each other in our country's history. And as it turns out, they're in pretty good shape.
So these are the report. Those were all the tests that were just done.
That was Trump with Dr. Oz, handing over the results of his September 9th physical the same day Clinton released hers. Clinton is healthy and fit to serve as president of the United States, according to her doctor. And Trump's doc says the Republican candidate is in excellent physical health. What does that mean? Let's break it down. Clinton's report details her illnesses on the campaign trail, from routine allergy flares to a sinus infection that required ear tubes to her recent bout of pneumonia. Trump's report doesn't indicate if he's been sick this past year, but does note that he takes statin to lower his cholesterol and weighs in on the heavy side at 236 pounds. Clinton's on a blood thinner after suffering a concussion in 2012 from passing out due to a clot in her brain, and she's on a 10-day antibiotic course for her pneumonia. Both their vitals are normal. Her blood pressure is 100/70, his is 116/70. Neither smokes, Clinton drinks occasionally, and Trump doesn't drink at all. Last year, Clinton's doctor wrote that she eats well and does yoga regularly, while Trump, whose preference for fast food is well known, told Dr. Oz that he considers his speeches to be exercise.
I feel as good today as I did when I was 30.
Mike did mention that Clinton and Trump are the oldest candidates to run against each other for prez. Clinton will turn 69 at the end of October, just before the election. Trump just turned 70 over the summer. You've got 27 days left now to register to vote in the election. You can get started right now when you go to fox4now.com/democracy2016.
All right, GOP presidential nominee Donald Trump is making a stop here in Southwest Florida this Monday. If you don't have a ticket to the rally, it's all good. Fox 4's got you covered. For In Your Corners, Patrick Nolan and our Lisa Greenberg will both be live at the event, bringing you updates throughout the day, and they'll have those on air and online at fox4now.com. We'll also be going live on our Facebook page, so check that out too.
A For In Your Corner investigation prompting the Lee County Sheriff's Office to take a big step in keeping you safe. How our story led to an update of some crime maps that can help you know about threats in your community.
This video of parents tossing their kid off a bridge, leading to major problems for them. The price they're paying tonight.
If you were worried about Zika, you'd want to know the test results right away, right? We're investigating delays in getting those important test results. It's next on Fox 4 News at 10. Tony?
Patrick, we've got some isolated showers on top of the radar now, plus tracking the rain for the weekend. Full forecast ahead.